Hey everyone, Sam Davidson here with MEA Worldwide, and I am here with a very special guest, Gabrielle Scharnitzky, who is in USA's new hit Treadstone. You guys are going to love it. How are you doing today?
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to have you.
I'm nervous. It's the first time I'm giving an interview in America, so please have patience with me.
Well, we are so honored, and we're so excited to have you because we are absolutely loving this show at our outlet. First of all, tell me about landing the role, because this is one of your first big U.S. roles, correct?
Exactly. I have worked for Hollywood productions, but like 2, 3, 4 day roles, and which was great, and I'm very grateful for that. But when this came along, I mean, this is another thing for me, really. I'm very, very honored and blessed to be in such a big production and to have the joy to play such a character. It came about through self-tape, and I had 24 hours to prepare.
Wow.
So, and then I was asked, after I had done it in English and in German, after we met on Skype, Tim Kring, Ben Smith, and the casting directors in my living room in Berlin, right? It was quite surreal.
Wow.
With the computer in front of me. And they asked me if I would be willing to do it in Russian. And my heritage, my ancestry is Russian. I never spoke Russian, though. And so I thought, well, that would close a circle, right? And I said, yes. And they said, okay, give us a self-tape in 3 days in Russian. So I had 3 days to prepare in Russian.
So did you learn Russian? I mean, did you know a little bit? How did you do that so fast?
I called, at that time I had worked with a Russian pianist. We did a memorial concert for a composer that had died in Auschwitz, and we did his music, and I sang and read it. So I called him immediately, and via WhatsApp I gave him the lines, and via WhatsApp he was sending me in Russian back so that I could rehearse it phonetically.
Wow. And it seemed to work out because I would have never known. I mean, most of your lines that of the show thus far are in Russian.
Yeah, but I had a dialect coach afterwards.
Wow.
It was, I just talked about it for weeks. I was studying one word
Wow.
every day, 3 hours.
Well, that's absolutely impressive, as is your character, Petra, who, from what we know thus far, is the only character that is alive in current day from, that we've seen from the flashbacks, and now we see you presently. So now that we know who you are, how has she dealt with the aftermath of Cicada after all of these years, would you say?
That's an interesting question. How she dealt with the aftermath of the cicadas?
Yeah, after being involved with it and kind of moving on with her life.
Well, she doesn't know at that point.
Yeah, so she's still, okay.
We don't know anything right now.
Okay.
We just know that things are going wayward. That's all we know. And that's all she knows.
Okay.
But the thing about Petra is she is like... what's the name of the animal that goes through the...
A hedgehog?
Yeah.
Got it.
She wants to know.
So she's still one of the characters that is in the dark because she's such a strong character that, audiences might think that she knows more than she does, but she's just like anyone else that we see on the show that's trying to figure out...
What's going on.
Exactly.
I mean, she has... When we see her in the beginning... being undercover 25 years as a Russian farmer means a whole of a lot. 25 years of poverty, 25 years of living in the nowhere land, and she did that, and she taught me so much. I have to tell you, that tenacity she brought in for me to really be devoted to what you believe in.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of the actions that she takes, for instance, killing Oleg, that is something that is truly built inside of her as the fighter that she, was created to be so long ago.
Well, a protector. Mm-hmm. She's a protector. She protects the missile.
Absolutely.
That's the most important, right?
Mm-hmm. And she's also involved, of course, in Stiletto 6, which we're not exactly sure what that is, but she's safeguarding, or she was, that missile in her backyard, but now she's been forgotten about by the KGB. What do you think her feelings of being forgotten about are? Does she kind of recognize how hurtful and angry that is, or is she going for revenge? Yeah,
of course. How do you feel when you feel forlorn and nobody is taking care of you and you have devoted your life to it? Mm-hmm. And there you are, alone? That's a pain.
Yeah.
That's a pain that creates so much anger. Mm-hmm. Because she has given her life. That's big.
So last we see her, she's going, on a mission to, she's on a train to go see what's going on here. So her real drive there is anger. Is it revenge at all? Or is she maybe looking to be brought back on the team and will welcome being back on with the other
That's an
people?
interesting question. Yeah, that's a very good question, which I had to ask myself, of course. Mm-hmm. So what is the quest? Does she want to kill everyone? I mean, or does she want to revenge? And I think it's not that. No, it's about finding out what is my position in that. Mm-hmm. What do you do with me at this point where I've given everything? You can't just throw me away. So she wants to challenge. She is fighting not for herself, really. She is fighting for what she has fought for and lived for all of her life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, she can't let go of that. It's impossible. But the journey is so interesting in that. What she has to learn in that journey is the most interesting. That's why I took on the character.
Yeah.
That's so. You have to really watch the episodes to understand for each character what a grand journey that is to find your true self.
Yeah. And what would you say, inspires your character, let's say before she got involved in any of this? As an actor, you probably had to pick something, what was this person's first love? What was her passion before she got involved in all of this?
Well, she is a child born in the post-Stalinism, which says a lot, mm-hmm. because that was like after Stalin, people really tried to get out of that indoctrination. So there was a spirit of freedom, right? Mm-hmm. And I see her in that. She believed really that this is the path where she can help Russia to become a very grounded and a communist country, yes, but grounded and not indoctrinized in the sense that there are only some people. I think that as a young girl, she thought she could do that and was able to give her, she is very intelligent, and she went to the academy and it got all very fast, and then she was in that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, she was caught and had to prove and was the best, but underneath, I think the spirit of this she's basically a free spirit, and she has forgotten that.
Yeah, that's very sad. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Well, so in the past, Petra had pushed Dr. Meisner and her senior officials into believing that John Bentley was the right candidate for the project. So why do you think she pushed so hard for him, and what role did that betrayal play in her future?
I didn't understand the question.
That's okay. So in the past, John Bentley, the character, she pushed for him to be the correct candidate to work with, correct?
Yes.
And so there was a betrayal of sorts that we believe that we see. How do you think that affected her life moving forward as far as trusting others and as far as her career?
Well, I think the most important is the question of loyalty. Who are you loyal to? And what are you loyal to? Mm-hmm. So she and John Bentley, they are loyal. They meet in that same spirit, because John Bentley is also loyal, mm-hmm. very loyal. Mm-hmm. And that's where they meet. That's an energy that sort of dissolves all, how can I say, all paradigms of you have to do this or you have to do that. It's meeting a kindred spirit in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see hopefully more flashbacks as to what happened with that storyline. But I know that the episode that we have, which is this week, has an insane, crazy fighting scene that you are a huge part of. Can you tell us a little bit about filming that scene and what went into it?
Yeah. So I have this incredible stunt scene. You have to watch it tomorrow or yesterday. I don't know when you watched it or when you will. But I trained for that scene almost 4 weeks every day, except Saturday, Sunday. And Buster Reeves, the action director, mm-hmm. he has such an incredible team of stunt people. They made everything to make me feel comfortable and do the moves that were very. I mean, I didn't know that I have those muscles. You know,
I'm sure.
I was like, and that every day. So, and in the beginning, I was quite excited and nervous, and I told them, in a sense, I have to retrain my brain because my feet don't do what you want them to do, right? Mm-hmm. And they helped me. And in the end, I wanted to do everything. It was like, let me do everything. I want to do everything.
Was there any injury at all? I mean, did you?
No.
Wow.
No.
That must have been probably one of the most challenging things you've ever done.
Oh, yeah. And especially shooting it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so fast. You know, in the beginning, of course, it's very slow, everything, and then suddenly it gets so fast. So every move is important, right?
Wow. That's really special, I'm sure, as a performer. So we really did just meet your character, but there's so much backstory, and we're at the beginning of the season. For the rest of the season, what side are we going to see of Petra that perhaps she as a character hadn't seen in herself before?
Well, I can't tell you that.
You can't tell me, okay.
I can't. But what I can tell you is we all have different faces. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a difference when you're at home, or it's a difference when you go to the office, right? We all put on faces. So she has, like the film with Jim Carrey, The Mask.
Yes.
She has the challenge to understand what her true face is. Mm-hmm. That's a journey.
Yeah.
And that is she's walking through.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
It was a pleasure, and it was a pleasure to be your first U.S. interview. Yes. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to tune in to Treadstone on Tuesdays on USA, and we will see you next time.
At 10 o'clock.
Yes, 10 o'clock Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on USA. Thank you, everyone. Bye.